everyone. This is Beardo, and if you've never been here before, thank you for joining me. I had no plans of making any videos tonight, but I've been procrastinating on this video, and I think it's about time that we just shared it. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be talking about something called worship etiquette. It is not a common topic, or it's not been for a while, but I think it's definitely something for us to talk about. So, hey, my name is Beardo, and this channel has gone through a lot of changes in the last few months. So, if you get a bit confused, please don't be. Um, I've been transitioning my content according to divine instruction for the last few months, and that's what you see that's happening. But in the meantime, please subscribe. And if this blesses you, continue to share with friends and with family. So today, I'm going to be reacting to a video that made rounds, I believe, in December, November, I think. So I just thought it was something that would definitely bless someone. All right. So here goes.
You deserve the glory and the honor. So we lift our hands. Stop. Pastor, how much authority do I have? Do I have authority? Okay. Okay. Now listen. One of the things that bothers me the most is when I try to get intimate with God and somebody's taking pictures of me. And our goal is to know God. Oh, okay, to know God. You remember in the Bible when it says Adam knew his wife? Abraham knew Sarah. That, in other words, they had an intimate time together. Who's married? Is a married couple in here? Where? That's your wife with you right there? I'm talking, that's your wife? Oh, okay, now listen. When you and your wife are being intimate, I'm talking about intimate with your clothes off. Do you want people taking pictures of you? Okay. Now, two things. As a worship leader, I appreciate the fact that you love me. And you have demonstrated that over the years, over the 43 years of ministry. But, well, thank you. Thank you. But I want to get something clear. I am not an artist. I'm a worship leader. And my goal, my only goal, my only gift, the gift that the Father put in me, was to teach you how to worship Him properly. Okay? Now we are singing a song that dictates the appropriate behavior. Okay? Most of you are from West Africa, right? And you have kings, right? Oh, okay. What is the first thing that you do before you go to the king? What do you do when you come in the presence of the king? You bow. See, don't nobody have to teach you that. Okay. Now, the Bible tells us
Okay. So there's so much to unpack. The video is about 4 minutes. There's so much to unpack in that video. And let me first start from the fact that the title was Uncle Ron right for doing this. So why do I call him Uncle Ron? There's some people that have been in our lives without us knowing them. For believers, for so many years in our lives. And Ron Canoli is one of those people. I can't even call him Brother Ron. He's an uncle at this point. So, when you're thinking about gospel music and people that God used to really make a difference to a generation, Ron Canoli was definitely one of those people. And I'm so glad to see him still in the faith, still, spreading the gospel through his music. And there's a few things I just wanted to touch on from what he said. Um, he before he started, he asked for permission. So was that right or wrong? I think that was absolutely right, because sometimes you just see people who are invited to the church and they just go off on the stage. They can be rebuking someone or something like that, and then it just turns, into something else. It gets on social media, it spreads, people take it out of context. So then some people are in the comments saying, no, you need to see the full video. But the way this was done, he was polite as he continued to speak and admonish them. He, like I said, he asked for permission. He was told, yeah, you have permission, go ahead. Which I'm not surprised that if it was a West African dominated church, because respect is like very big in the culture. So of course he was like, go ahead, and he went ahead. It was polite, but he was firm. So for the next few minutes, we will see him being like very firm, but very polite about what he's talking about. He talks about intimacy. He's not crude or vulgar about it, but he makes it clear, like the kind of intimacy I'm talking about is the type that there's no clues on, and it's between married people. And then he goes on to talk about how he does not like this idea of like cameras in his face, of people like taking pictures of him he's leading worship. He is very clear about the fact that he's not an artist. And I used to make this mistake, oh, guest artist, gospel artist, like so many of us have made that mistake. But an artist's job is to showcase their art and entertain, right? A worship leader or a worship minister, their role is to lead other people into worship, right? So everything that they're doing is meaningful. It's not about them. They're not showcasing themselves. There's no glory for them. The glory is the Lord's. Like there's no mistake about that. So the moment you start to not worship and you're taking their pictures, not worship and you're streaming them live, like you're, you see people who are like worshiping like this, and it's like, you're not worshiping that way. And I'm not criticizing, you're not worshiping. So I'm coming from okay, I'm going to come from a few angles here. So that I have a handle on Instagram. It's called Christian and Creating. I understand the pressure sometimes as a believer to put out godly content, but that is not the time. If you're one of those people who does modest content, Christian content, godly content, right in the middle of worship is not the time to be doing that. Just because you want to show people that you're right there in that space. Ron Canoli is here. I'm here. The fact that you would do that at a, what they call it, like a secular concert, it doesn't make it okay. You cannot do that at a worship concert because you are supposed to be before the king. So I thought I was going to share a particular scripture. It says Hebrews 12:28-29. Therefore, let us be great. I'm reading from ESV. Therefore, let us be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. And thus, let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire, right? So there's no reverence and awe in taking pictures of the person who's leading you to worship instead of worshiping. Because the reverence and awe is not for the worship leader. The reverence and awe is for God. So your focus should be on God, right? And worship leaders are supposed to encourage this. Whoever's like, hosting the gathering should encourage this. You can tell your worship leaders, you can tell your choir, remind people, please put your phones away. If you want to watch this later, there's going to be a replay on YouTube, on TikTok, or whatever our social media handles. You can go watch the replay, but right now we are going into worship. So I think that's one way that, it can be encouraged. Yeah. So if you love the minister so much, like a lot of us definitely have love for Ron Canoli. If you love the minister so much, that is great. Like, that is like, I love Ron Canoli because he's definitely an uncle in the faith, and I'm just excited when I see people who have been in the Lord, and they Ron Canoli, when I knew him, he was not this old, right? The fact that he's this old reminds me that I'm getting older, right? But more than that, I'm just encouraged in the Lord by the fact that he is still in the Lord. So if I love Ron Canoli, yes, I would support him in whatever way I can. If he's leading me into worship, I would like trust God that God is in that. And another way to show that we love these people is to intercede for them, because they're constantly on the move, and the enemy wants to attack them and bring them down. What a goal it would be for the kingdom of darkness to say, oh, do you know Ron Canoli is no longer in the Lord? He made a video and he said he doesn't believe in Christ anymore, or he came out of the closet. Like, some just very strange thing would happen. That is what the enemy wants, because believe it or not, some people would leave the faith, unfortunately, if they saw a video like that. So you love someone like him, you love a worship artist, young, old, intercede for them, pray for them. Bless them. Their Cash App is up, their Zelle is up. Bless them as the Lord provides for you. Stream their music, support them in whatever way. So yeah, I thought I was going to just talk about that. Like, it's not in good form to be worshiping the King of Kings, and then your mind is more on, let me stream this so people can see it. The people streaming it, what good is it going to do for them? If that program is at a church or at an event and there is a Facebook Live option, there's a YouTube Live option, send the link to your friends, post it up if you have to. But your hands up streaming, taking pictures of the worship leader is even distracting for them. And then my final thoughts on the issue is, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when these people fall, like when they leave the faith, or when they start to faithlessly function. So faithlessly functioning, which is a term that I came up with, I believe, and I don't know anybody else who's using that term, but it's in my book, Lead Me Past This Lies. It refers to people who are serving. You see them in the church, they're like moving around, they know where everything is, they're like brilliant with the work, but their heart is no longer where it should be with Christ. Yeah, I think sometimes we can push people into that place when we lift them up and make gods of them. And so it's something that we definitely need to be careful about. We shouldn't make gods of men. We shouldn't revere men. We shouldn't, give men the awe and the glory that is meant for God, because it pushes them into a place of pride. Little by little, pride starts to grow. Oh, I went to that place, the way they were like with me was so great. And then I went to this place and they were not even taking my picture. Like, the enemy can plant that seed and it can start to grow if the person isn't careful. So yeah, we have a role in that. When we treat them like that, we have a role in that. So I think it's something for us to watch out for. Yes, for the leader, they have to guard their salvation with fear and trembling. They have to constantly be on their face saying, God, it is none of me and all of you. But we also play a part when we make gods of them. We are putting them in trouble when we do that. So yeah, that is my thought on the matter. So was Uncle Ron right for doing this? I think yes. I think he did it in the right way. And I think we can all learn about the right way to do it from Uncle Ron. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm from West Africa myself, and where I come from, yes, they are kings. They are monarchies based on tribes. And, you can barely even put your face up when you're talking to these people. Talk less of God, right? So I pray that God continues to bless us and show us ways that maybe we are not doing the right thing and how to go about doing the right thing. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, night, wherever you are, and a wonderful month. Bye.